The San Diego Prep Insiders Girls Basketball Podcast is powered by Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. How's it going, basketball fans? Here with Natalie Peister, the 12-point performance today for Tri-City Christian in their big win against Pacific Ridge. Natalie dominating the boards and the paint today. How are you so successful?
I think it was us playing as a team that made each individual play well tonight.
So I noticed throughout the game they started even double teaming you. How are you able to fight off the double team and still be able to get some points?
A lot of the time, when we moved the ball around and slowed it down, it gave a chance to open up things in the inside that wouldn't be open usually.
You guys did really well. Like you're talking, really good job as a team, moving the ball around. But your defense also was lights out tonight. Zone defense, you're able to trap a lot of the Pacific Ridge girls and gave them fits. What can you say about this team's defense?
I thought they did, like the other team.
No, your team. What do you think about your team's defense?
Oh, I think that we have made it really far. We practice, like every practice, we practice our defense a lot, so we've built on it and it's gotten really well.
You guys have won 10 of your last 11 games. You're on a nice little roll. Only loss was by 1 point. How come you guys are winning so much right now?
I think because we are playing as a team and we're practicing well, and that's turning into the games.
So, end of the season's wrapping up here. You're going to finish up league, but you're going to get ready for the playoffs. Division III, potential rematch against Escondido Ventus Academy, who beat you by 1. How excited are you girls? Not thinking too much ahead, but how excited are the potential chance of playing them again?
I think we're all super excited.
Excited for the playoffs. Natalie's excited. We're excited. For a little bit more on Tri-City Christian, Haseen caught up with their head coach.
How you guys doing? It's Haseen out here at Pac Ridge. Just had a good game where Pac Ridge played Tri-City. Tri-City came out on top. I'm here with Coach Alyssa Ramos after a big win. You guys are rolling right now. I think we said you guys are what, like 9 of your last 10?
I believe so, yeah.
Only lost the one by 1 point, so exactly. So you guys are rolling right now. How do you feel about your team right now?
They are starting to get it, so it's cool. The system's really coming together. I'm really enjoying the girls a lot, and they're running well, so they're playing well together, they're figuring it out, and I'm glad we're playing our best basketball now and not at the beginning of the season, so it's fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tonight it really looked like your length was a problem for them. You guys had a matchup zone that they really struggled with because of your length. Was that something that you prepared for, you thought was going to be a problem for them?
Yeah, I think it's a problem for everyone. You can't really get past Joni at the top. She's very active at 5'10". Those arms are long, and then if you do get past her, Natalie's right there at 6'1", ready to block you too. So it's the perfect zone for us right now, and they're playing it well, so they're getting it.
So you mentioned Natalie, who we just spoke to, and Joni Schultz, your leading scorer. Dynamic duo, both played really well tonight. Talk about the performance you got from those two on the offensive end.
Yeah, I think tonight was a little bit slower for them, and they still come out on top, which is awesome. Any way we can find a win. Joni runs the floor so well, and Natalie cleans everything up. I think that people don't really notice how much Taylor pushes the ball for them, though. She spoon feeds them on a lot of things, but I'm very impressed with the way that Joni's been finishing, so it's awesome.
So you mentioned your point guard, poised, composed. Everything you guys do, like you said, is kind of quarterbacked by her.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
Honestly, she wasn't a point guard, so I kind of told her at the beginning of the season, that's the role you got to play, and she's really taken it on. We made some mistakes early on that I probably should have communicated with her a little bit more, but she's really taken on that role of just looking up and throwing, and she's good at it. She's the quarterback, and she's making things happen for us, so it's good.
I love the passion and energy you guys play with. It seemed like the camaraderie on the bench is really good. How do you feel that's contributing to the success you guys are having this year?
I think that is crucial. That is our culture, and that's something I'm trying to instill in the program. Our goal every game is I hope you get a bench warning from the refs. And Mika, I don't know if you see her over there, she's up and she's excited. And they wouldn't play like that on the court if their bench wasn't like that. And so everybody is such a key role. And it's really coming together, and they're learning how to play together as a team, and everybody is an integral part. And so it's been really fun to watch.
So first year here at the program. Right now, Max Preps has you guys right behind Escondido and Christian in D3 standings.
Yeah.
You don't want to look past the record of the season, but how do you feel your chances are stacking up when you guys get in the playoffs?
Yeah, it's something we don't talk about a lot. We have our own mini goals within our games that we want to get. I think we came out 1 point shy of a win against Escondido Ventus, so I'm cool with that right now. It's a tough loss, but they know how to play to beat those teams, and I know we can do it. We have to we really got to get the little things down, and I think that they're contenders for it, no doubt. And so if we play our game, I think we can get it. So.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, Coach. Great game tonight, and we want to wish you luck for the rest of the season.
Hey, basketball fans, that was great catching up with Tri-City Christian. Big win for them as they remain undefeated in their league. Haseen, it was a 20-point game tonight, but what did you get out of it?
It was only a 9-point game at half. I think Tri-City went on like a 10-0 run, and ever since from that point on, it was kind of out of hand. So whatever second half adjustment went in the locker room for Tri-City was huge because their defensive pressure really tightened up. It was already tough for them to score in the first half for Pac Ridge, but in the second half, it was zero opportunity for them to score.
Tri-City had a lot of size in Pister that we just talked to, and you could tell that she basically dominated and shut down the entire paint for Tri-City.
Yeah, she was all over the glass. A lot of rebounds, a lot of easy putbacks. It's not just her size, though. She's really good at getting in the right position for rebounds. So if you're in good position and you already have the size advantage, those putbacks become real easy. So their size was definitely the factor all night long.
The other bright spot, though, was Pacific Ridge and Grace Lee, who doesn't have that big of points per game numbers, but she hits it from beyond the arc and does it in a great fashion, and she's only a freshman.
She shoots it with a ton of confidence. So that's what I look for. It's not so much if it goes in so much for me when I'm watching. It's how confident you are when you shoot that tells me, okay, this kid can probably shoot if they're taking those shots with so much confidence and consistently, and like you said, just a freshman.
So let's look real quick. Let's look big picture as we get ready for the playoffs. Tri-City Christians in Division III, third currently, according to Max Preps, in Division III, chasing Escondido Adventist Academy, which we've already talked about in interviews, and also Christian. As of right now, I know you haven't seen everybody yet, but after watching Tri-City, how do you think they're going to do in Division III?
Well, their size translates. So they, like you said, they only lost to Escondido Adventist by 1, so obviously they can compete with them. Christian's going to be tough. They're going to be really battle-tested when they get in the playoffs. So Christian's a team that Tri-City may struggle with, but their coach is confident, their kids are confident, so I wouldn't put it past them to shock the world and make some noise in D3.
We haven't seen Escondido Adventist Academy yet, but we will see them on February 15th as they take on St. Joseph Academy at St. Joseph Academy. A little bit of preview for where we're going to be in the next couple of weeks, but enough talking about Division 5, Division 3, this game that we just saw. Let's get into our top 10 real quick. Combine my rankings, his rankings, and Max Preps as we get gearing it down for the playoffs here. Mount Miguel, La Jolla Country Day, Santa Fe Christian, Mission Hills, San Marcos, top 5. They've been the top 5 basically the entire year.
Same top 5. They haven't even really moved. I think San Marcos has been 5 for probably about 6 straight weeks. Santa Fe's been 4 for forever. Huge game with San Marcos and Mission Hills. 9 points is about what I expected. It's going to be tough for San Marcos to get it when they go back there. Santa Fe with the big win over Cathedral. That was a little bit closer than people thought. So again, like we've been saying, the top 5 is the top 5. I'm ready for playoffs.
Everybody's beaten everybody so far, but how the rankings it works out because where they're slated for so long, you said there hasn't been a lot of movement, but the teams that are ranked ahead of the other teams are beating those teams. So it seems to be working itself out. So we get into 6 through 10 here. La Costa Canyon at 6, Cathedral at 7, Eastlake at 8, Bishops at 9, Bonita Vista at 10. Cathedral a big mover after only losing by 2 to Santa Fe Christian, and Bishops getting, lack of a better word, just blown out by Santa Fe Christian.
Yeah, and then, with Cathedral it's tough because, again, you never know who's going to show up, and they have so much talent. So, again, despite the losses, they're still a team that is going to be scary. And then, Eastlake and Bonita Vista, they split. So, I mean, if those teams find a way to meet up, whether it's in D1 or if they can either find a way to creep in the open, again, as much as we talk about the top 5, the next 10 are bunched up pretty good too. So it's just a lot of talent. And the separation, I would say there is a bit of a separation maybe at the top 3, but after from 4 on, it's just wide open.
And then there's a little bit more of a break between 10 and then 11 through 15, but 11 through 15 has been pretty much the same teams so far this year as well. We're going to give you a little taste. We're going to give you a top 15 this week. So Westview, I almost said West Virginia because it's WV on my notes, Big 12, way too long. Anyway, West Virginia, Westview, I just did it to myself. Westview at 11, Escondido Adventist Academy at 12, Del Norte at 13, Scripps Ranch at 14, Sarah at 15. A lot of these teams play each other over and over again. What can you say about these teams that are just on the cusp of making the top 10?
Well, Del Norte and Westview, they're league, so they play again. like I said last week, I was a bit surprised that Westview handled them so well. They got their point guard back, Mac Orabella. She was out early in the year. She makes things go, frees up stuff for their off guard, Julia Dalkey. So Westview's a really underrated team. They're one of the few teams like Country Day, Bishops, and La Jolla Country and Mission Hills. You throw Westview in there, they've been in the Open every year, so they're not a team that you can doubt because they got a proven track record of success.
Both of us have Westview out of the top 10, but Max Preps, the one that matters right now, has them at like 8. So they're winning, they're beating good teams when they need to, and their ranking is pretty good. So that's our top 10, top 15, if you will, as we threw that out there. But let's get into some games last week. We talked about Westview and Del Norte already. We talked about Mission Hills and San Marcos. But for me, I thought this game, it's not really one of those like appealing games. You see it on the schedule, you're not like, I'm not excited for it. But to me, it was a pretty telling game. Escondido Adventist Academy beat El Cap at El Cap 49-40. And for me, it's like, it's a team for them that's not a small school, and they're able to beat them soundly.
El Cap is good. We saw them early in the season. They handled OLP team really, really easy. From that point, I had them in the mix to win D3. So I think despite the fact that we have them in our rankings, I think we're probably still sleeping on Escondido and Adventist a little bit. Got to give them their due. Right now, sitting at the top of the rankings, I mean, it's hard to doubt them. So we got to give them their just due and see what happens when we get into playoff time.
This was a big tester for me because if they would have lost that game, I probably wouldn't have ranked them anymore. I didn't want to put the high pressure stakes on, but that was just my opinion, and they passed the test. They don't have any more tests from here on out. St. Joseph's might give them a run for their money on February 15th, the game that we're going to be at, but as far as the rest of the season's concerned, they're pretty much cruising to the playoffs. So that's that. The other game that is a very telling game, total opposite of the Escondido game we're talking about, and that's Santa Fe Christian Bishops. Big game you circle on the calendar, but not a big game on the court.
You know, it's weird because I expected Santa Fe to compete with Country Day because of the way they handle Bishops. So it's just weird matchups, and it's like in boxing where they say styles make fights. So, Bishops is still good, but Santa Fe, with their veteran leadership and their depth, they're probably a step higher, which is why they're ranked higher. So I wouldn't really put too much stock in it. They're going to play again. Bishop's got a shot against Country Day, so that league is still pretty much open for grabs if they can knock each other off.
So let's get into our game picks. Last week, we picked the games for this week. They haven't happened yet except for one. Santa Fe Christian beat Cathedral by 2, and Santa Fe Christian was both of our picks. So as they get started to play here, let's try to wrap it up real quick. La Jolla Country Day at Mount Miguel. Who do you got?
Country Day.
I have Country Day as well.
Double digits.
St. Joseph at Escondido Academy, round 1. We're going to round 2. I'm going to take Escondido in this one. They're the home team.
I agree. I think they're going to win too.
On the same page as well as Hassine for 2 picks now. LCC at Carlsbad. That is next Wednesday.
LCC, but it's going to be closer than people think.
I'm taking the Mavericks as well. Next Friday is the game we're going to be at. Bishops at La Jolla Country Day. You got to take La Jolla Country Day by big in this one. That's on mine.
Yeah, I love my guy over there, but Country Day by more than double digits.
And then the last game we're going to pick is down in the South Bay. Otay Ranch at Olympian. Olympian having a pretty decent year. I'm going to take the Mustangs.
I'm going Olympia.
The one differ that we have. Oh, so hopefully, maybe I could sweep this week. That would be awesome. Come back in the race. So we got to let them get ready to play their game for the boys, Pacific Ridge and Tri-City Christian. For Steve Williams, I'm Braden Soprano. We'll see you guys next week at La Jolla Country Day as they take on Bishop.